important. But as for the one thing we did have in common, we both always wanted to be YouTubers since we were super, super little.
That solidified for me.
And it eventually became my full-time job. And like immediately after my channel blew up, she tried to start her own channel, posted like 2 videos, and then fucking gave up. But ever since that, she's been breaking her goddamn back trying to get me to quit. I shit you not, this girl would call me up randomly and be like, I don't think you should continue social media. Like, internet hate can get really bad.
My sister didn't really like her. She thought that she was weird, but because she was my friend, she was being super nice to her. Well, like a month later, she started trying to become best friends with my sister. Like any conversation she would have, I would be like, oh, do you want to come over? She would be like, no, sorry, I'm hanging out with your sister today. And I would go home and I would be like, hey, are you hanging out with Gia today? And my sister would be like, what the hell are you talking about? Like for part 2. Part 2 about my psychotic best friend. So like I said, my sister was like, no, what are you talking about? So at this point, I'm thinking,
Are you like little girls? Yeah. So eventually I had to go to management because this was just getting way out of hand. But I am running out of time, so stay tuned for part 2. Love you guys. Bye.
I woke up this morning to my house being egged, covered in flour, and video footage of girls screaming, F you, Kenny. My dad's truck, the side of our garage, the front of our house, our driveway, blasted with eggs. It's not even as if I care, I'm just like, how stupid can you be? There are quite literally cameras everywhere nowadays. You can see what happened, we're dealing with it. I guess I just don't understand. If you want to hate me, but don't vandalize someone's house. Like, it's literally illegal.
don't worry. I get up real quick, I run to the bathroom, and there's like this pink transparent wax on my eyebrow. It was about 3 a.m. and we're all sitting there trying to find ways to get this wax off of my fucking eyebrow. Well, then Amber goes, I'm tired of this, grabs it and rips it off my forehead. So I'm crying at this point. Like, I'm in 8th grade, I'm about to have my glow up, and y'all gotta ruin it with taking my eyebrow off. So nobody went to sleep for the rest of the night because they thought that I was gonna do something to them. So I acted all cool. I was like, no, it's fine, I can just draw it on. When in reality,
I just flipped the switch.
But you gotta remember, I was making POVs, so I would make scripts, and those scripts would take me hours. Just to have another girl copy them and literally be getting millions of views. Like, guys, I'm not kidding, this girl had millions of views from my content. And Alana's content. It wasn't just my content she was stealing, it was Alana's content too. And who knows how many other girls. Or I guess creators, I should say. Alana ended up getting pretty mad.
Get ready with us to expose our school. Disclaimer, we did graduate high school, so this does not matter anymore. Okay, so we had this history teacher, right? And the history teacher was like such a creep. Like, he was so creepy. He was like creepy looking, creepy acting. We're in his class, geography, and one day we like noticed he was like
no intentions of looking for a guy, but I was up for, you know, flirting with them and going on some dates. Well, the one day I am at the gym in my apartment building, and there's this guy who's walking on the treadmill next to me, and I get off and he gets off at the same time, and he starts up a conversation with me, and we had started talking about how I never went jet skiing. And he was like, oh, well, do you want to go jet skiing on Tuesday? So I just decided to put myself out there. I said yes, and bam, we had a date the next day. So I meet him at his mommy without any clothes on. So then I had to play it off like I was ready to do the nasty with him. So for the next 2 weeks straight, I was going to my boyfriend's house and doing the nasty with his brother while he was at soccer practice. Well, the one day after his brother and I did the nasty, I fell asleep in his brother's bed. So my boyfriend came upstairs, and he didn't see me anywhere, so he was knocking on his brother's door. And we didn't hear anything because we were sleeping, so he just opened the door. And I woke up and he was screaming at both of us. So him and his brother got in.
It was bubble gum, so I had to chew it.
Taste me how to duck, taste me how to duck.
Well, our freshman year of high school, he started dating this one girl. Well, when he started dating her, he distanced himself from me because she didn't like how much time we were spending together. So a few months go by and my birthday's coming up. And mind you, within these past few months, we only seen each other like twice. And he had me blocked on all social media. Well, our parents were really good friends because we lived in the same cul-de-sac. So my mom invited him and his parents to my birthday party. So at the end of my party, my friends left and him and his parents stayed.
Say her name. She knows who she is. Not that she can see this video because I'm still blocked to this day. But yeah, like, it's just like super unfair. Like, and I'm not gonna even sit here and lie, like, I might be, like, guilty of stealing someone's content before, but I would never steal somebody's entire script that they probably worked so hard on. Not even that. Every time I've ever taken content from somebody else, I've tagged them and given them credit for the idea. None of that. She blocked.
I'm like, he wasn't there for about a month. And then in that month, he didn't help me with my daughter. I lost jobs because he just wasn't there to help anymore because he was on some bitter shit because we separated. I kicked him out. So fast forward to the car accident. I called him. I'm like, it's not about our child. I know, like, you're not watching her. But I just got in a car accident. I almost died. My body is bruised up. Please come over. Like, you know. So he comes over.
Influencers before, which they work with like some of the biggest Get Ready With Me creators right now, so I was like, oh my god. I also forgot to mention she blocked my talent agency so that they couldn't see that she was using a fake email under them. And I know at the end of the day it was probably harmless, like it was just like a copycat situation, but like, I don't know. I have all the screenshots, but I feel like there's no use putting those out there. I feel like that's not something I would.
So weird. Okay, so I actually left his class because I had like a weird like encounter thing with him after school one day. And so like I left his class and like I reported him to the principal, and she basically told us like he's different. Like while this grown man is looking at little girls' legs, like you're telling me, oh, he's different. While he's watching cheerleaders, he's different? Yeah. That's not real.
Questions about my past relationship. He was like, has a guy ever like bought you jewelry before? Like, has he done this? Has he done that? And I was like, no guy has ever like bought me jewelry before, because they haven't. This man shows up on the date with this necklace, this ring, and this bracelet. They're all bows, which I was like, how does he know like I like bows this much? Like I was so like, I wasn't weirded out, but I was kind of just like
when I basically stopped hanging out with her and started hanging out with other people, she tried to bully me. Like, this girl was crazy. Every time I would be sick and stay home from school, she would go up to the teachers and tell them that I'm skipping school, which I never did, first of all. And I would only find that out from my other friends who were in school at that time. Every time I was in class just minding my own business and, for example, saying something to participate, she would make like negative comments in class and just try and make fun of me. So yeah, after a week,
Started arguing with us. I don't know what he was saying, something about my TikTok. I'm pretty sure he was mad because I posted a story time about him. But if you're mad that I'm posting a story time about you, then stop bothering me, because that's what the story time was about. So we were not bothering him, nothing. We were literally just chilling outside the gym, being to ourselves, because there were so many people crowded in the gym. Like, it was all the 8th graders crowded around in the gym, and like there were balls flying around, everything. Nobody wanted to get hit, so we just sat outside the gym and we were just chilling. The first time
Kitana wins flawless victory.
Him on the bus. After like 5 minutes of us waiting for the bus driver to get back on the bus, this boy named Kai that everybody loves for some reason comes over and rips me out of the seat. After that, he sits down next to Josh and starts punching him and screaming at him. So I grab this kid by his book bag, rip him out of the seat, and I sit next to Josh. I put my headphones in, plug in my phone, and this kid grabs the phone, throws it at the front of the bus. And there weren't any adults on the bus at this time because our bus driver was using the bathroom.
Ever since then, weird things started to happen, especially in my bedroom. Specific items of mine would go missing and then reappear a couple of days later in the middle of my bedroom floor. Then things started rolling around on the floor, and bear in mind I had no air conditioning or drafts in my room. And then one night I was woken up by a massive crash where my entire vanity fell to the floor but nothing broke. The only thing still standing was a candle which I'd lit the night before, which was the shape of a
Me and my friends used to just sit in there and we didn't really know what it was. And then one day we saw those buttons on the side and we figured out it's a supplies elevator. If you don't know what a supplies elevator is, it's pretty much like if there's people cleaning or whatever, they put all their cleaning stuff in there so they don't have to bring it up all the stairs, because we didn't have an elevator. Like, that was the elevator, you know? So yeah, it's like small, but it's quite thick. You could fit like 3 of us in there at once. So one day, me, Millie, and Carly, two of my best,
would have got crucified.
Well, we get in the house, and as soon as his mom sees me, she knows that something's wrong, like for part 3.
Okay, part 3. So like I said, I walked in and she knew that something was wrong with me right away. Because she was like, oh, I have a letter from your boyfriend. And usually I would run up, grab it, read it really quickly. Because I would only get like 1 letter a week. But instead I ran downstairs because her face was fucking melting. So 5 minutes later, she has to come downstairs and help me get dressed into my pajamas because I forgot how to dress myself. I didn't want to be left alone that night, so my friend stayed in the basement with me. So
Give me peso, extendo. I carry bitches like a Greco.
Bags, matching water bottles, matching backpacks, matching everything, okay? Why does she think that just because I talk to him in class, that means I'm gonna take him away from her? Like, oh my god, he's just my friend. So it gets to be almost dismissal when she packs up and then goes to stand by the door by herself. Okay, that's mistake number 1. You decided to distance yourself for what? No one did anything to you. Everyone was still talking to her. Like, it's not like she was getting left out. That's not ever the case. Because if anything, like,
you know, crushing my car. And I go talk to this man, and I was scared. He was scary. This was a scary man. He was like in his 50s, okay, like scary looking. Leather jacket. I was like, oh no. Now, immediately I could tell that this man was drunk. This man was wasted. Slurring his words, like stumbling, trying to get his license and shit out. Like, I was like, oh, great, this is perfect. I get his phone number. I'm like, can I get a picture of your insurance card? I don't know.
Even though you lied about where you met him, like, I can look past that because it's the small little white lies that you can kind of get over, but they all add up over time. With this guy, she's telling me that she's going to Paris with him at one point. So I was like, Paris, you getting flued out? Nah, you've hit a lick, you've won in life. Like, I was so excited for her because obviously, who doesn't want their babe to take them on holiday? Like, come on, like, let's be serious, let's be serious. Also, another bit of information about my friend. I'm
just so frustrated because, like, I tried to, like, fix things multiple times now, and she's saying that I'm being fake nice. What am I getting from being fake nice? You owe me an apology for talking shit on me and not coming to me and being mature. What do I owe you an apology for? You thinking that I like your boyfriend? Asking how he was doing in ISS? Telling you the truth? Like, what do I owe you an apology for? Your boyfriend owes you an apology for saying that my ass was fat. Like, I don't know. Sometimes it's, like, I know people say, like, don't blame the girl in the situation, and I know it's hard not to sometimes, but, like, come on, I'm your best friend. Why would I lie to you? Anywho, thanks for watching, guys.
I've heard some crazy stories.
Know what she was thinking, I know what I want to see. Bust that pussy open, then I tell her bring it back.
Having so much fun, and I really have to go to the bathroom. And I didn't know where anything was at all, so I grabbed my friend and we're looking around everywhere for the bathroom. Because when I asked him, he was super drunk and really couldn't explain to me where the bathroom was. So we were pretty much left to fend for ourselves. But we ended up not being able to find a bathroom, and this is where I had to improvise. So my friend and I go to the laundry room, and we see the litter box in there for the cat. Well, at this point, I was desperate, so I just went in the litter box. Well, 30 minutes later, the cops show up to the party.
We used to sit on, I'm pretty sure, the top level, or like second from the top. And one day we're sitting there and we were just curious as to what this like little door was next to us. And think of like kind of the entrance to the other world from like Coraline, right? So it's kind of like that big. You kind of have to crawl in. So there was this like door and it slid up like that, I'm pretty sure. And it was like a metal door. Anyways, so
actually live, and I was like, what the fuck, dude? And he told me that I was lying and that she was actually dead. She's alive.
Tell me about the worst date you've ever been on.
I was on a date with a guy who took the bread off of my plate, handed it back to the server, and then told me he deserved to date a guy with a six-pack.
Tell me about the worst date you've ever been on.
So I went on this date with this guy. He picks me up in a Porsche, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. You got a cool car. And I look and I see that his car is on E.
Friends for a long time, and I wanted to confront her about her stealing my clothes because I honestly wanted my clothes back. Like, she took my favorite hoodies and my shorts and everything else. And if that's all that I saw from her in that one like couple of videos, like I was just questioning how many other things she had stolen from me. So I decided to come up with this master plan to try and get my stuff back, because what would I do? Fight her and then accuse her? Obviously, she's going to say she didn't take my stuff. And even if she did, well, we would stop being friends and then I would lose all my clothes. So I decided that I was going to still be.
They trying to be. They trying to be. She wanted me.
It's happily ever after and you get like really excited. Okay, so that happened. And when that happened, I had let out a little. You feel me? Like a little. Like a hooray. Okay, but it was like a quiet clap. And then all of a sudden, my beautiful, angelic, rainbow, majestic fucking peace was disrupted. I had heard somebody say something. Now, mind you, we're in recliner seats, so I sat the fuck up and I looked at my mom. I said, what did she say?
Rightfully so. Like, sis, don't be texting my man more than me. That's weird. Well, when I looked, there was nothing. He was just being super nice to her. And with me, on the other hand, his texts were super dry. By the way, my sister and I are twins. But she starts laughing at her phone and I'm like, what did he say? And they were just typing random letters to each other. She has a better sense of humor than that, so I knew something was off whenever she was laughing at it. And then she says, I have something to tell you, but you have to promise me you won't get mad. And then she tells me that he said that he likes her.
Like my family, he would always pop out of nowhere. Like I felt like I was really living the TV show You. There was one time he actually came to my house. He knocked on my door and I opened the door not knowing who it was, and I saw him. He didn't say a word. He didn't say anything. He was just standing there. I was just standing there. We were just looking at each other like. And then the next day, I once again reported it to school. School did nothing.
Get ready with me.
You know I'm the face of the city, bitch. That's why you mad.
Race difference. So right now I'm like, what the fuck? I'm not mad about the money part. I'm more mad that my husband lied to me. I was more upset about the fact that he had lied to me. So I had made dinner reservations for the next night so that way I could hopefully bring up the conversation about it, like for part 3. Part 3 of how my husband accidentally told me that he was cheating on me. So like I said, I had made reservations for him and I to go out to dinner so that way I could hopefully spark up the conversation about it. So when we finally sat down, I had started up the conversation.
Right? And again, also, I thought I was white, because I pretty much thought everyone in the world started out white. And then, I asked what race I was one day to my mom, and she told me I was Asian. I was like, oh, but my eyes aren't. But I found out I'm Asian. Love you guys, bye.
Get ready with me while I tell you the time that this guy put out a blicky on me because his
best friend and Jay is the guy who I was dating. Anyway, so we get to Mike's house, right? And we're all hanging out and I was giving Mike a little bit more attention than I was giving Jay. Because obviously I wasn't interested in Jay. So Jay decided to act like he was pissed off at me, right? And he walks out of the house, right? To see if I would chase after him. Like, obviously I'm not going to. So Mike and I are sitting there watching him walk down the street because he said he was going home. So Mike and I were sitting on the couch and we started making out. And then we heard the
It's about damn time. In a minute, I'ma need a sentimental man or woman to pump.
Like my friend picks us up and like me and my friend go back to my house. And I just felt so awkward and icked out by the situation. I can't remember if I unadded him or ghosted him, but I did one of those things. But me and him are like complete strangers now. Like, I'd be surprised if he remembered me. Obviously, I'm gonna remember him because he was my first kiss and this story is really embarrassing. But here's my advice. Don't kiss somebody you don't know. And don't rush it because I rushed it and look what happened. Anyways, whenever
NYPD do not care. They will stand around and that's all they do. They weren't even helping or doing much when he was abusing his mother. Why would they care that he's knocking on my door at 11 p.m.? When the abuse would happen, the mother would call the cops. They would come get him, arrest him for like a couple hours, maybe overnight if she was lucky, and then he was released the next day. Some people were confused on what they brought out of the apartment.
He's really popular, he's on the football team, and I was like, girl, whatever, nobody cares. Until I'm sitting in my first class of the day and I remember that she made out with my boyfriend last year. I forgave her, of course. But because karma was taking a little bit too long, I figured I had to do something about it myself. So my plan was to hook up with her boyfriend. Do I feel bad about it? Absolutely not. So I went to my school's football game, and guess who I saw? My best friend's boyfriend. She couldn't make it that night, she had something to do, so I had him all to my
Must be the shit if I really claim you. Bust it open, bend over, put my back in it. He addicted like it got a little
friend to her so I can take back my clothes. And by the way, you guys, this drama's still going on because I still haven't gotten back all my clothes and I'm about to like ask you guys a way to like get them back and you guys can let me know if you think that it's a good idea. This girl has not been free for literally ever, and every time that I try to ask her like can we hang out, like all of a sudden she's acting all weird and saying that she's busy. Keep in mind, before we started hanging out, she would ask me to hang out every single day, and when I did hang out, she would get mad, and now all of a sudden she's saying she's busy. So I have a feeling that she found out.
I'm a fake person. I'm not fake at all. And that's also another issue I have. I feel like being fake in high school is what gets you a lot of friends and gets you a lot of that nice reputation. I feel like the girls that everyone loves that say are super nice are probably some of the fakest people I've met just because I know them personally. Like, you talk to them, they say you love you, you walk away 5 seconds later, they are talking crap on your name. I don't know if this sounds bad, but I feel like I'm just not that type of person. Like, if I don't like you, I don't know why we'd be friends, you know? Is that bad? I don't know if that's bad or not.
So they're gonna rob the store every time. We're here and we're back with another Sephora story time because it's the holiday season and the stories are already getting juicy. Let me just give you a few stories on what the holiday season looks like when you work at a makeup store like Sephora. Look, I get it. Makeup and fragrance is expensive, but robbing a store show out for Christmas is crazy. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I could personally give a gift and be like, here you go, knowing the whole thing is fucking stolen. And you know, a lot of these stories I feel